Hi. Um, so I'm exploring many things in on my healing journey, um, and a lot around feelings. I feel a lot. Um, I'm most probably empathic, which means I feel deeply, and I also am able to pick up on others' energies and feelings. Um, and so I'm oftentimes overwhelmed with feeling, but I'm allowed. And in my past, I used to feel overwhelmed by all of what I felt, and now, over this period of healing, I've realized that it's actually a gift to be able to feel um, like I feel. And so, if you feel deeply, and you oftentimes feel as if you are seen as too sensitive, um, and we live in a little bit of a gaslighty world, you know. And so, if ever you bring something up from your sensitivity, as opposed to it being like, oh, you picked that up, let me acknowledge what you've picked up, um, people would say, oh, no, you're too sensitive. And so it kind of invalidates your feeling. I don't know who feels like that, but that's a real way of walking through the world where the depth of your feeling is oftentimes goes unacknowledged. And it kind of makes you not trust your intuition, um, the feeling, and yeah, it makes you doubt yourself. And if you surround yourself with right kinds of people, the gift kind of can be seen. Else, you can actually hurt yourself emotionally through the years by not having the depth of your sensitivity validated as a positive thing. Because I think oftentimes being sensitive is seen as a negative thing, and you lose the gift. You lose it's a gift. And oftentimes it's brought about by trauma, actually. They're coping mechanisms, and these things get like honed in our childhood, or we must probably come with that intention to discover that gift. And how does that gift come to light? um, Interesting stuff. But one of the things that came up for me was people who mess with people's feelings. Now, just adding a little bit of something on top of this conversation around feelings, I'd like to kind of grapple a little bit with what does it mean to mess with somebody's feelings, so that somebody doesn't quite know where they stand with you. Are we okay or are we not okay? Now, I can also blow hot and cold. I know I can also blow hot and cold. Then I'm up, then I'm down. Temperamental, one would call me. No? But I see a lot of it. I see a lot of it. And for years, it's like I've personally carried a burden around being somebody who was quite hot and cold. I could get, because I was so sensitive. I was like constantly picking up on stuff, and then I'm fine, and then I'm not fine. And like God would say, like, why is she so all over the show? And my depth of feeling definitely had something to do with it. And I just also think I was quite toxic, to be honest. If I'm honest, I was probably quite toxic, because I had all of these feelings. I had no idea what to do with it. And I was angry, and I was moody, and I was, angst, so much angst inside me, really, through the years. Mm. But I was feeling a lot, you know, and I was like, but because I used to get such a lot of kickback on it's like I could feel such a lot. So I could feel when I wasn't showing up in the best energy, and then I'd feel like bad about it. I'd overthink it. I'd be like, I wasn't nice in that moment. I could have been better. I don't want to have an experience like this again. I'm going to show up better the next time. And I was thinking about these things all the time. I don't know if you guys think about how you show up in the world. I don't know if you ruminate about how interactions could have gone better, and how much of it you actually take upon yourself, you know? Or if it's always somebody else's fault. Because it's not always somebody else's fault there. It's not always somebody else's fault. It's oftentimes our own fault about the energy that we bring into our interactions. Because if you're waiting for somebody else to behave better before you behave better, I mean, we can most now get stuck here for a very long time if you think about it. You know? And so there is something about messing with people's feelings. You know, I think it's a power play. People want to be top dog alpha, and not everybody's coming with good intentions. That's scary. That is so scary. But not everybody is coming with good intention. And if you are feeling played with, your feelings are being played with, then say something. I suggest that if you think your feelings are being played with, say something. Tell a friend. Tell somebody who you know you can trust. And yeah, because people's feelings are actually very precious, and you can really hurt people. You can really hurt people if you play with their feelings. We must be careful about how we treat one another. We have to be more careful about how we treat one another. Everybody goes through difficulties and is carrying huge burdens, you know. To hold grudges and to want to hurt, it's not the way to resolve our problems anymore. But the society that we live in tells us that violence is still an acceptable form of conflict resolution, apparently. Yeah? And we are part of the societies that we live in. And so the violence that we see out there, it's like violence is not always overt, you know? But we live in the society that is paining as we see it is. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean because it's happening in the Middle East, it's not impacting you. We are all part of the same energetic field that makes up this place we call home. Open up your mind to the understanding of oneness. Oneness. We are one. We are one thing. Everything is connected. There's actually no space between us. And then that means that the way you treat the next person is actually an impact on yourself. And the way you treat the environment is an impact on yourself. And the hurt you cause another is an impact on yourself. What you put out into the ether, in whichever format, whether I'm speaking like I'm speaking here, or it's the interaction with the person that I encounter when I walk out this room next, or anything and any relationship and any interaction and any behavior, anything, you're putting it out into the field. You're putting it out into the field. Good and bad, light and darkness. So what are you choosing to put into your field? And if we all made adjustments, we are adjusting the field. Do you see? And there is science around consciousness that talks about as you raise your level of consciousness, you're able to put out more energy. So the higher the vibration, and fundamentally, the better feeling thoughts, the better feelings, the higher vibrational feelings, let me not say better, higher vibrational feelings. It impacts further. Yeah, you can impact more. And the more we then go and do inner work, what inner work fundamentally does is it raises your consciousness, it raises your vibration. And what you put out will affect the field that you live, that we exist within. And it includes everywhere. You can change the world. You can make it different to the one that you are witnessing right now. You can. You don't have to do anything outside of yourself, actually. You could. But what you do with this thing could change the world. How does that sound? Does it sound exciting? Come on. Go and dig a little bit here. Make your mind go, what is she saying? What is she saying actually now? Go dig a little. Consciousness, awareness, feelings, relationships, oneness, quantum physics. Go and look at that kind of stuff. Mysticism. Because you are more than you have been led to believe. And there are avenues to uncovering the truth of it. But you will need to be willing to take a few risks. And not just follow the leaders blindly. How does that sound? And this is towards goodness. This is towards goodness and love.